Hello ladies, my name is Katya and I'm a relationship coach and currently live in Thailand, so that's why I decided to make this video literally on the beach, because I want to talk about most common mistakes women make in their relationships and share my personal story which happened to me, and I currently talk about it in my Instagram as well. And here I'd like to tell you a bit more in details about the situation, what actually happened and what I personally learned from it. So back then, it was around like 6-7 years ago, I'd say. I wasn't a relationship coach back then and I wasn't that good in communication, to be honest. I learned everything later. So back then I was making a bunch of different mistakes which women make and prevent them from having committed relationship. So what I did, I offered my ex to stay casual. He wasn't my ex, he wasn't my anyone at the time, because we just met, it was so sudden and the story was so easy, so simple and beautiful, but I just ended their long-term relationship. So I was not ready whatsoever. And as a result, what happened, he was like, okay, sure, such a great girl, it's so simple with her, she also wants to just stay casual. And everything was like complete love story. We were like having great time, sharing stories, getting closer and closer. And guess what happened after? Of course, I suddenly wanted more. And the problem with that was that I didn't think back then when I said these words that I would want more. I thought that the story would end soon. I thought that, oh, maybe we're not meant to be together. Like, why to make things complicated, you know? And many of us women actually fall for this mistake because we think that when we're trying to control the situation, we are actually doing the complete opposite, and we're setting ourselves in a trap of casual relationship, which is really hard to move into committed ones. And you might think that like, oh, but like we started this way, it can get into something real. But the problem was that this guy who I was seeing back then, he didn't want anything serious. That's why he agreed for what I offered. For him it was a perfect deal. But for me, I was the person who get used to being in a relationship, not to just like having casual flings. And it didn't seem to me back then that it was kind of casual, because for me, like, we're going on dates, we're like sharing lots of like secrets even with each other, you know, we were getting to know each other more and more. So for me, like, it was like any other relationship. And because we're so into each other, there was no need even to talk about exclusivity, because why would I address it if I didn't want to see anybody else? Like, he was completely there with me. No, there is a kid out there in the sea. Sorry for the noise. Yeah, so I wasn't like, I didn't think that it was even important to address the exclusivity, because why, if we're so into each other? I clearly could feel this connection, until I found out that I wasn't the only one. And I was like, to say that I was shocked is to say nothing, literally, because I was like, how is it possible? And you know, like, we women, we have these manipulative moves, like on communicating things. Like, I'm doing my best not to use any of those, but like, we get these patterns from movies, family, friends. Like, it's very hard not to use them. So what I did, I was like, oh, come on, you can be honest with me, just share that, like, did you go out with anybody else? It's okay, like, we didn't agree to be exclusive, it's fine. And I was so sure that he would say, yeah, of course, you're the only one. But he didn't. And I was like, damn, like, there was someone else. And I felt that like I was cheated on, because like, how else could you feel if somebody you have strong feelings to, and we were telling each other that we love each other, and then I find out that he literally went out with one of his exes and they spent the entire weekend together. I was like, oh, great, and I couldn't even say anything because like we agreed that like no strings attached, like we're so cool. But I'm not cool. I'm not a cool person. I wasn't okay with that. And later on, I was trying to negotiate with myself that like, oh, it's okay, like we can get over it because it was really our deal. We didn't agree. Like damn, we were like more than 6 months together. Like what kind of deal could happen there? And then we actually stayed together for like about 7-8 months longer. And damn, like I couldn't get over it, really. I couldn't get over that I wasn't the only one, and I felt betrayed. I was trying to make it work, and but deep down I was feeling so much resentment that I couldn't move on from it, and as a result the relationship ended. Even though actually he offered to like to be committed by the end of the day, but it was too late. And that's the problem. And the lesson which I learned back then was that first of all, you have to know your needs straight up. If something is not okay for you, you have to talk about it. You have to communicate, because otherwise you're betraying yourself. You don't need to prove to anyone that you're cool, that like, oh, I can do this. Like many people do it, why not? Like what's the point of it? Because you're the one in this relationship by the end of the day. Even if you call them casual relationship or whatever relationship, it is a relationship, and it's really not pleasant when you find out that the guy you've been like saying that you love him was having sex with someone else. Not that nice of a move, let's put it this way. Second lesson which I learned was that I don't need to rush into a relationship if I'm not ready. But what about the like right person, wrong time, like how to taking things slow, etc., etc. Yeah, and this has to be communicated as well. But getting into a casual deal when you're not the type of person who is really okay with casual relationship, which I'm not personally, like at least at that time I wasn't. Like maybe if at some point of time I get single and I decide to go casual, why not? But then it was a bad move for me, let's put it this way. And then thing number 3, words matter. Whatever you think, like I always say, watch the actions, not the words, but words also matter. Whatever you say to a person, you make a pact, especially in the beginning of the relationship. And when you make this pact, it's kind of impossible to get back from it because you already agreed on something. And whatever you try to negotiate later, it's doable, it's possible. As I said, this guy offered me to have a committed relationship after all, but the mistakes were made, and unfortunately our relationship didn't work out. That's why you have to think what you say as well. It's not just about like, oh, don't trust what men tell you, watch the actions. But ladies, we women, we also have to watch what we say, because sometimes we can get emotional, we can say things which we don't really mean just because like at this particular moment we feel this way. But when we feel this way, it's not always the best thing to say. And even if you happen to say something which you don't really mean, it's important to talk about it ASAP, because otherwise it can get you into a type of relationships which you are not looking for by the end of the day. So that's why watching your words is really important. I hope that was useful, and if you want to build healthy committed relationship and attract high value man, a true life partner with whom you would have respected relationships full of love, that he would care of you, then you can join my coaching program, Lady Power, where we go in depth. What are your needs, how you can communicate them, how you can attract such a partner, and how you can build healthy committed relationships full of love and respect, and a lot of many other things, where you will be discovering you, what you need in relationships, and how you can get there. You can message me on Instagram, book the intro call, The intro call is free of charge, and currently I'm accepting people in the program. I have a few spots this month, so welcome to join, and I will be happy to work with you so you can avoid all the mistakes I've made and my clients made, and any kind of mistakes women make that push right men away from them and prevent them from having the relationships they truly deserve. So there you will see my link to my Instagram. You can message me in Instagram or WhatsApp. Any type of communication is okay. See you on the other side. Watch my stories daily on Instagram. You are the best women. Love you. Have a great day.